Jam crypto AI news analysis here. It is January 7th, and before I get on with this video, I just want to say none of the things I talk about in this video are buy or sell signals. They're purely research. I'm not being paid to talk about any of these tickers. And besides that brief message there, let me get on with the rest of this video. So let's just talk about the price action. So virtuals here is the ecosystem we like to talk about, and as we can see here, there is a large pullback, especially in the last few days, which is not surprising since it's been up only. Will it break the chart and go down here? We'll see, but virtuals actually holding up pretty well compared to the majors, which I'm going to talk about, because you're probably wondering, okay, virtuals is so fucking awesome, right? But why is it going down so much? Like, what the fuck is going on here? And I'll talk about it. Maybe it's going to follow my line. We'll see what's going to happen. I drew this line around here or something. But as a result of this virtual price action, a lot of the virtuals AI tokens got fucking destroyed. So Vader, for example, it is pretty much destroyed and is going down into DCA zone I drew. And if we also look at other tokens, so Infra, Convo, also it's actually holding up pretty well. Convo pretty strong compared to other tokens. Game as well. Again, this one's also really strong in comparison to how virtual is acting. If it was weaker, it would probably be down here, but it's holding up pretty well. So infra coins look extremely good, but things like Vader kind of shitty. So if we also look at maybe Trust Me Bros, so this is another token I like to talk about. This one I wouldn't say is destroyed. It was pretty much needing a trust back, a pullback, because it's been down only. But I put this DCA zone. Okay, maybe it can be a little tighter around here-ish. I think that's a good DCI zone. I personally bought some more today, but Trust Me Bros looks pretty good. And Trust Me Bros did release a DAO, the DAT DAO, which it's a shame that they released this in this market conditions, because it should have gone way higher. I read about this tokenomics. I'll probably talk about it in another video, but that's not the focus of this video. But this tokenomics is pretty fucking nice. This should be valued way higher, but it's just a shame it got released in this virtual ecosystem where it's kind of shitty. But creator bid tokens also kind of destroyed because of the price action. AL loss, this token is it's okay, but we'll see what happens. D-King, this one token is actually holding up really well. And then AION, if I were to find AION, this one I wouldn't say he's got destroyed. It's actually holding up really well. So creator bid tokens look really good as well. If we also look at Ray, sorry, I'm going through so many tokens here, but there's so many AI agents. Ray pretty much got destroyed, but if you look, zoom out, pretty much up only. So maybe this is going to be some sort of consolidation here before another leg. We'll see what's going to happen. But if we look at the Solana ecosystem, so AI16Z is the ecosystem there, or AI16Z is pulling back a bit too. It's actually pretty strong compared to virtuals. It actually hasn't gone down that much. So Solana AI looks really nice in comparison. But there's also this Sui AI, which I'm going to talk about a bit briefly, and then meme coins. So if we're to look at base chain, so meme coins got fucking wrecked. So KeyCat, it was here a few days ago, and we thought, oh my gosh, this is gonna be the recovery, but it got fucked and went straight to the lows again. I don't think it goes much lower from here, probably a bit, maybe 10-20% less lower, and then we're going to see some upwards momentum once again. Has have a rounded bottom, but it makes sense because this essentially leveraged Ethereum, and Ethereum got fucked hard, like minus 10% on the day, and I'll talk about that a bit later. But meme coins look pretty fucking bad compared to virtuals AI agents. AI agents are actually a bit stronger. So infra tokens like Game, Convo, if you're looking for any entries, this is your chance to buy into, I would say, infra, because infra is very strong right now. I think meme coins will be really good, but meme coins are kind of just fucked over right now because of BTC price action. AI agents are just a lot stronger. But let's just talk about the Cookie.fund dashboard here. So market cap wise is consolidating a bit. It's a bit down, and smart engagement actually increased a bit. So AI agents are a bit more in mindshare, but AXBT, the mindshare overall, I wouldn't say there's anything super special about this. It's pretty much the same as other days, but no really big changes in the Cookie.fund dashboard. But I'll talk about the price action of the majors here, where you're probably looking at BTC. So I did put in my Telegram, okay, maybe it's going to retest the support level, but I was quite naive for that, and we realized that, okay, now I got fucked over, and BTC did like a minus 5% in the day. Will it keep going lower? It's possible, but the probability of that's a bit low in my opinion. It could do another leg down to about 91, 92-ish. It's very possible. And meme coins, I don't know if they'll get even more destroyed because they already got destroyed, but AI agents could get pretty destroyed here if that's the case. So we got to look out for that. But my case here is that if we look at the liquidation heat map, so BTC is currently right here, and liquidity around here is essentially they're trying to buy into this range if that's possible. And there's basically a huge hard liquidity stop at 91K, as we can see from the heat map, where there's a lot of liquidity there. But there's some liquidity here. There's a chance that BTC bounces from here and then retests this high at 102K. And then we'll see some range environment, a mean reverting environment in BTC before another leg when it comes to late January. But we'll see what's going to happen. If it goes lower, then AI agents probably going to get fucked over. Meme coins, I don't know if they're going to get that much change because they already got destroyed. But we got to look out for this price action. I'm more biased for a bit of a bounce into the highs again, which is going to bring up all the AI agents and then the meme coins, and that's going to be quite nice. And then you can probably take a little bit, and then it's going to have some sort of mean reverting environment and dip down a bit as well. So if we look at Ethereum too, Ethereum, huge fucking candle down. So I don't have the liquidation heat map, but Ethereum is probably bottomed out around here. It could go down here to 2800. It's possible, but let's see what's going to happen. I'm more biased for a slight bounce, especially on a huge red candle like this, but we'll see what happens. Okay, but let's just go on to tweets. So smart traders who found this tweet and took it up are up from this post. So this is a post talking about Sui AI. So Sui is another major, which is this asset. It's like this teardrop token. It's like a water. They're trying to get wet or some shit. And there's this AI infrastructure that's being developed on Sui called Sui AI. And this tweet is basically going to explain it. I'm pretty bullish on it. I think it's pretty interesting, but it's kind of a virtuous copycat, but that's not a bad thing, right? But this guy's saying here, smart traders who found this tweet and took it up are up from this post. There's a working deflationary virtual-like product, but for Sui, called Sui AI, worth billions, currently sub 30 million, where on-chain agents are created that has 5 agents above 1 million market cap already, and people are not talking about this except my friend DeFi Panda, who called early. ADA, I picked this up sub 1 million. ADA Sui is the best liquidity ratio out of all of the agents. You don't have to hunt Sui ecosystems alphas no more. ADA agents does this. They have partially doxing as active Sui OG. This is Sui AXPT version. And my friend, NFT Josh, spotted Dola before launch, currently around 2.8 million, loved by many, including Sui core communities and Orb agent analysis. But this next thing, Sui is currently at 5.16 all-time highs, 51 billion FDV now, generating almost 3.5 billion trading volume in 24 hours for days now, and his leading AI infra agent is sub 30 million, with solid agents like Ada Sui at 1 million only. So he is basically super bull posting Sui AI. And if we look at the Sui AI or Sui majors chart, if I can find it here on TradingView, but so Sui here is probably one of the strongest majors, despite Bitcoin fucking us. Look at this chart. It's just up only. It's one of the strongest majors. It's actually insane. It's a bit riskier compared to the other ones because it is a lower market cap inherently. But if you look at the trend, I would say that you would probably be long in this, and maybe there'll be another leg here. We'll see what's going to happen. Anyway, Sui is extremely, extremely strong, and now there's an AI narrative in base in Solana, right? And Sui is probably going to be a competitor to Solana, and it's probably going to offer more multiples in comparison because it is a lower market cap. So if Solana, for example, does a 5x this bull run, Sui could probably do maybe a 10 to 15x because it's a lower market cap. But Sui is going to be extremely, extremely good this bull run, especially if the strength in the shitty market conditions. And now we have an AI narrative on Sui. So I'm going to pull up the ADA chart. So I have this bag. I bought some of it at like 4 million, but I think this is really, really interesting because look at this chart. So extremely strong in comparison to other narratives, but this one is very, very good. It's the highest volume, the best token on the Sui AI platform. But if we look at the Sui AI, so their account, they have a shit ton of engagement, like 1,000 views, 50 likes. Is this pretty similar to AXBT in terms of likes wise? In 2,000 followers. So I've been monitoring this, and it's gaining followers at a very fast rate, and yet it's only about 4 million. And they're trying to onboard people on the Sui. They're essentially AXBT, but specifically for the Sui ecosystem, which I think is extremely interesting because I'm pretty bullish on Sui. And if this is going to be the Sui mascot, that's going to be insane. There already is a mascot agent called S, so this one is pretty insane. I honestly don't even know what this one does, but the chart is extremely strong. But something like this, I don't know if it has enough mind shares it. Okay, if you look at the, honestly, the ADA gets more engagement than this one. and it's at 4 million. So I don't know. There's some sort of repricing going on, but if we're to pull up the website for Sui AI, so the tokenomics behind it is pretty similar to virtuals, where it's a deflationary token, and they pretty much use the Sui AI for everything. So if we also look at the Sui AI chart here, it's pretty much up only in the last few days. There's a bit of a pullback, but maybe this could be the correction needed before another leg. But this is just absolutely insane, these market conditions. And then its top agent is only like 3-4 mil. Absolutely insane, man. So I was just looking at this, and one of the issues about this place is that it's kind of a copycat of virtuals. I'm kind of bullish on the Sui AI ecosystem. I got to do some more reading on it, obviously, but honestly, I think this could be a competitor to the other ecosystems, because we have Solana ecosystem with AI16Z, and then we have base ecosystem with virtuals, but then now we have Sui, which is going to be a huge competitor in terms of the altcoins in competition with Ethereum. So we have Solana, and then we have Sui. So Sui is probably going to have an AI agent ecosystem as well, because this AI agent narrative isn't just locked into Solana and Base. It could also go onto Sui. So I'm looking at this token, ADA. I'm pretty bullish on it. I think it's really interesting. I actually read through some of this tweets, and I think they're actually pretty useful. So maybe it could be another 100x. Maybe it could be the next fluke. I don't fucking know. However, if you're going to buy this token, practice some basic risk management. Of course, like, don't put all of your money in this. Of course, you have to have risk management, because altcoins are super fucking risky, but this could be highly rewarding. I have a thesis for it, and I think it's pretty good. So I just wanted to talk about it. Maybe it's a fluke, or maybe it could be the next big thing. We'll see what's going to happen. But let's look at this next tweet here. Jensen Huang, NVIDIA CEO, sees AI agents as a multi-trillion-dollar industry. We're at 17 billion market cap today. Feels early. So yeah, 17 billion. If that's actually the case, then AI agents are, you know, a little behind in that, and there's a lot of repricing to be done. But let's look at this next tweet. The best crypto founders made money trading before building. Jeff, Luca, Pac-Man, etc. Your first customers in crypto are traders. Understanding is a huge edge. So yeah, a lot of these founders, when they make the AI agents and develop shit, they got to realize that who is actually going to be buying these? Well, first off, it's going to be the people within crypto already. It's not going to be retail you should be thinking of firstly. It should be the traders. And the traders, if they want you to buy your token, because the whole point of making these projects is for people to buy their tokens so that they can dump on them later as exit liquidity. You got to attract traders, because those are the people who are going to find the tokens first. But let's go on with this next tweet. IP-backed meme coins entered the game. Baby Shark just hit 235 million market cap in 24 hours with 10K holders, backed by 14 billion YouTube views, 190 million subs. So we got to realize that some of these meme coins have IP, like intellectual property. So memes that are actually memes. So sometimes there's meme coins that are more of a culture, like Sigma or Giga, or maybe they're just some random ass meme coin that doesn't even fucking make sense. So maybe back then the Luigi Mangione, it was a meme after the narrative there, but sometimes there's meme coins that are actually based off a real meme. So Baby Shark is a meme, I guess you could say, within children. It has a lot of mind share outside of crypto, so of course something like that will go insane. But what this could be is that you want to find tokens that also have a lot of mind share outside of crypto, and these tokens could push really hard, assuming there's a team around it to push it. So that's why I like KeyCat, even though it's kind of shitty price action right now. I think into the future it's gonna be great, because it's probably one of the most recognizable cat memes in my opinion. And then also on Solana, there's this one coin I like. It's super low micro cap, and if you're gonna put any money into it, you would probably put like a little few dollars or some shit, because I don't know when it's ever gonna pump, but I like it as well. It's the Walter dog meme. So it's a staring dog meme. Like, I personally like this meme a lot. It appeals to the zoomers. Like, I know people that use it outside of retail, and like, even if I look up the dog meme, it's there. So it's also an IP coin. So a lot of these IP coins, like, those are just examples. I'm not trying to show them to you. I'm just like saying that I like these ones in particular. There's also other ones like Shark Cat, which also has intellectual property. But these tokens that have IP behind the meme. So for example, Chill Guy, when that was released, it did this huge multiples, right, to like 500 million, but then it dumped like fucking crazy, because they realized that they don't have the intellectual property to it. So it did like an 80% retrace on the day, because people are like, okay, that's super bearish news, bye bye. But you got to realize that IP memes, that could be a potential meta within meme coins, supporting actual memes instead of just some random bullshit that they like to send. But we'll see what's going to happen. I personally have some of them. It's pretty much small bids, but KeyCat is a little bit more of an IP meme in my opinion. I think it's going to be pretty big, especially on base chain when they push meme coins on there. But that's pretty much all I want to say. So let's go on to this next tweet here. So I'm not going to read this whole tweet, but he says how to develop conviction in your trades and deal with insane volatility, a real life example. So I'm going to scroll down to his brief summary here, where you've held your bonk position throughout multiple large drawdowns. How do you deal with the volatility associated with meme coins? And how do you build a mental resilience to hold? So this is an interesting question, right? And he said quite simply that his answer here is by having a thesis and sticking to it until it plays out or it gets invalidated. So he's essentially saying that whenever you buy a token, you need a thesis for why do you think people are going to buy it? Okay, why are people buying it? What is the narrative? Who is going to buy after me? Where's the retail interest? Like you gotta think about these things whenever you buy a token. And when that happens, you have to stick to your plan. And maybe you could try to confirm with other people or try to look for information in case it gets invalidated. So for example, the chill guy meme, it was all over the place. Your thesis that it's all over TikTok and that people are going to be buying it because they recognize the meme. So that's the thesis, right? And maybe you buy it like 20K market cap, the thesis plays out, and maybe you suffer some drawdowns and shit, but eventually it was like 500 million market cap and boom, you're rich, right? But sometimes the thesis can get invalidated. So you're still holding the token, but then you find out that the IP of it is not valid. So that means that the original owner can take down the coin or something like that and make the token price go down like fucking crazy. So now there's a bearish case and now the thesis is invalidated because it's no longer a official meme coin. So you got to always have a thesis, stick to it. And if the thesis gets strengthened despite the price action, then of course you want to add to it over time. But if the thesis gets invalidated, boom, you just cut the bag. So you got to be quite ruthless with this. You can't be super emotional about it. You have to stick to your brains and logic whenever you buy and sell any altcoin here. But that's pretty much what he's saying, and I completely agree with it. But let's go on with this next tweet. Want to build one of the first apps on dev.fund? Apply for early access. So Pump Fund is making a launch pad on their platform. So I think that's quite interesting. I think they're just hopping onto the train here. Let's see if it actually gets any attention. But right now it's just a brief video about it. So I don't know if it'll get anywhere, but so far I just wanted to deliver that news there. I don't really have much to say about it, but let's look at this next tweet. I've made a lot of money off crypto. I plan to make more, but let's be real, most won't make it. In fact, most will lose money even if they're up a ton to start. This cycle has been a hyper gambling game of attention. Can you hold people's attention? Monetize that. That is your edge. You're not a great trader. You're not smarter than the next guy. Just because you profited on one big play doesn't mean you'll survive the next. Don't fall into the survivorship bias trap. Instead, write down a plan for the next few months. Set goals, set checkpoints, set your exit strategy, and always play to your strengths. See someone else making it some other way? Ignore them. That's not your path. If you want to make it, keep walking your own. So you got to realize that every trader out here in crypto, the only person that cares about your money more is you. You're the person who cares about the money that you put into these tokens the most. And if that's the case, you always need a plan. Okay, when are you going to buy? When are you going to sell? What are you going to buy? What are you going to sell? Like there's a bunch of things that you have to write down and keep a plan for. So personally, I have individual theses for every token that I buy. And I don't really buy this any random shit without thinking about it anymore. I just, whenever I buy something, I have a thesis and I stick to it, just like what the bonk guy said. And if it gets invalidated, then I cut the bag, right? But you always have to have a plan, which is the main thing here. And you also need to stick to your own path because sometimes you'll be good at one thing and sometimes you'll be bad at another thing. So maybe you'll be super good at playing in the trenches on Pump Fund, but maybe you're kind of bad at holding your bags for some fucking reason. I don't know. For most people, it's easier to hold your bags. And there is the saying that 90% of holders make more than 10% of traders. So that is completely true, right? It's way easier to hold than to actually be a trader here. But you also have to realize that pretty much everything is a trade, like even long-term holds. But you got to find when you're going to sell. And if I were to suggest you guys good times to sell, so right now are good times to DCA into meme coins and probably even get into AI agents. But then coming around April to May-ish is probably a good time to take some profits because that's usually a saying, sell in May, go away. That's personally what I'm going to do. So I'm going to stack up a bunch of compounded money. And then at April, I'm going to take a shit ton of profits. And then I'll leave moon bags just for the psychological benefit of keeping the token. But those tokens are most likely going to go down in summer because there's not going to be that many catalysts for liquidity to be pushed to pump crypto prices. Right now, the Q1 liquidity push is because of the TGA spend down where they're going to start injecting liquidity in the economy, which is going to allow a risk on sentiment within the crypto market. So people are going to be wanting to buy crypto because now they have more money. So that's going to be the main bullish catalyst in Q1. But Q2, what the fuck is it? I don't really know. So we'll see what it's going to be. And have a plan. But that's not to say that the bull runs are going to last until Q2. No, I think Q3, Q4 should be really fucking good as well. So that's going to be like the third half, I guess. And then that's when prices are going to go fucking crazy. It's going to be the insane bull run. We're going to see, but good times are ahead of us, especially in Q1. Q1 is going to be probably one of the best times. So you got to lock in for that. But let's look at this next tweet. So reading everything I can to figure out if what we're doing in blockchain AI is actually going to change the world and set the foundation for the future, or is a massive bubble we are inflating to make as much money as possible before the music stops. I'm honestly okay with either outcome. I just want to know so I can adjust my targets accordingly. So as we can see here, Solana KOLs are coming onto base, and these guys don't know how this tech works because they're just used to buying these random shits and gambling away. So they're looking at this AI space and they're like, okay, well, what the fuck is this? And they're wondering, is this a bubble or are there actually useful tech? And if you are people that research like me and find in the virtuals tokens and see if there's actually use cases, of course, there are some useful tokens, but the case is that a very small percentage of those AI agents are actually going to be useful. So AXBT is super useful, Game and Convo are super useful, other agents use them, but most of the other tokens are pretty bad. They don't really have that much utility, and those are mostly going to go to zero. But that's not to say they won't be pumped, because in a bull market, even trash will be pumped, but you want to be in the best tokens because those tokens are going to be pumped the most. So you always have to consider that utility aspect. And is it a bubble in AI agents? Well, yes. In the bull market, there will be a huge bubble and everything is going to be super overvalued, especially at the end of the bull market. And that is when you take a shit ton of profits so you can dump on the motherfuckers that think it's the next big thing. Well, it's been the next big thing, but now it's going to be selling off because of its overvalued state. So you just got to play to both ends. There are some useful tech out there. Position yourself accordingly in those things. But you also have to realize that despite that, there will be a huge bubble because of the nature of crypto markets where speculation drives price even higher, and it's a multiplicative price action on itself, right? But let's look at this last tweets here. So TLDR, it's going to be much easier to run AI models at home, which means you can have your own personal agent in your pocket that can run privately for personal data. Personal data equals agents tailored specifically to suit you. They'll know exactly what you want when you want and be proactive about doing things for you without asking it. 24/7, the UX will be instantly 100x better. Your agents just can be your default portal to the internet. So NVIDIA is making their own personal computer that can essentially run GPUs a lot better and run AI a lot better. So that's going to be quite interesting, where AI is going to be more onboarded, especially to retail, and how AI agents are going to be everywhere in your fucking life, which is also a narrative I subscribe to. But let's look at this last tweet here. If you missed the first 2 ways the virtuals IO ecosystem plays, now is the time to jump in. So this is the history of virtuals, but wave 1 created the first pump of introduction of Game and Combo Luna, first autonomous on-chain transaction. Then big take profit retracement across the ecosystem. Wave 2, introduction of virtual fund, lots of new projects positioned as DAO, smart indexer, prediction markets, expert, AXBT, Sequoia, Poly, etc. Then we see an inflow of new projects creating a flywheel effect, pumping virtual to 5 billion, but we also see a lot of bad actors here to make a quick buck, another retracement. And wave 3, which is right now, loading now with retracement across the board. What's happening next? Top projects from wave 1 and wave 2 will see an inflow of money as they've shown it consistently and continue to build within the ecosystem. They'll integrate game and convo frameworks to allow agents to agent interactions one step closer to an agent country like explained by SRMage. New entrants, moat created as it's more expensive to become a virtual agent and need to donk their Twitter accounts. The new good projects will need to be more creative and find new users cases and have true USP to perform well, but I'm still expecting to see 2 to 3 top players. Listings. Coinbase listing seems imminent for virtual for various reasons. 1, best narrative since a long time ago in crypto, similar to what metaverse digital identity was. New paradigm. 2, base expected to generate most of Coinbase profit, most of Wall Street broker notes, and virtual doing very well is important for the base ecosystem. 3, VCs can finally write smart investment memo papers. So yeah, right now we are currently loading the wave 3. Will it happen today? Will it happen next week? We'll see what's going to happen, but this wave is probably going to last a couple weeks, right, within the virtuals ecosystem. And when this happens, pretty much the best tokens are going to be sent the most, but the competition is going to be a lot higher. You got to be in the tokens that are going to be the best ones. And I think personally it's going to be AI infra, so game and combo, and then some of the more niche ones that are super fucking good. So XBT, I'm also super bullish on Trust Me Bros, which is a bit of a mid cap right now, but I think it's going to be repriced super heavily because the amount of utility it provides is fucking insane. I don't see any of your token having as much mind share as it and having as much utility as it in its market cap range. So I'm pretty super bullish on that one, and I think it's probably one of the most underpriced tokens, even at the 15 million market cap. I was talking about it at 2.2, and I thought that was super undervalued, but now I think it even more undervalued with the more features it has. That's as a shell. Okay, it's I'm not being paid to say that, but I have that bag, by the way. But game and combo also going to be super fucking good. But if you're okay with multiples on game and combo, so in this wave 3 they're probably going to do like 3 5x's across the board. If I were to make a prediction, then okay, that's pretty nice. But if you want more multiples, you got to find the higher beta assets, which are going to do even more, maybe 10 20x in wave 3. And personally, the assets I like for those contenders are probably things like Trust Me Bros and this another token called Dream, which I talked about. Right now the price action on it is kind of shitty, but I think it'll be fine. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Right now it's kind of bottomed, and hopefully there's another leg on this soon, but I don't know, we'll see. I have some higher beta tokens, but I think they'll be fine. But that's pretty much all I want to say in this video. And right now, as we can say, Sui AI seems quite interesting ecosystem to look at, and perhaps it's early or maybe it's a fluke. We'll see what's gonna happen. Virtuals is still the main ecosystem. Meme coins, would you consider the DCA into them? So I did say DCA 1 to 2 weeks. That's personally my approach to it, and that accounts for if it's going to go up like crazy or if it's going to go down like crazy. And it did go down like crazy, so continue to DCA to capture that downside as well is probably a good idea. But what that means is that meme coins probably have to go sideways a bit more before another leg up. But then if we also look at AI agents, virtuals, AI agents look really fucking strong here. So game, convo, these tokens are probably one of the strongest tokens to get into, in my opinion, in comparison to other tokens. But if there's a larger pullback on Bitcoin, Ethereum, then AI agents will get super fucked. So either way, position yourself accordingly. The best thing to do here is dollar cost average quite slowly, and you will capture as much tokens as possible if you do that. But that's pretty much all I want to say in this video, and I'll see you guys.